I'm Laura Davies, and this is my US Open. The way I started playing the game was watching Seve, Bernard Langer, Ian Woosnam, Sandy Lyle on the European Tour events that were on TV back then. My first golf club I was a member of was Guildford Golf Club in Merrow. So we'd go up there and practice all day and try and hit Langer's irons, hit Seve's flamboyant drives. That's where I think my short game came from, my hands, watching Seve. Watching Joanne Carner, for instance, when I first came out on tour with her bunker play, I'd go and stand and watch Joanne hit shots, and Nancy's course management. So I taught myself by watching the great players of the day, and never had a coach, never really wanted a coach. I didn't want someone who wasn't probably as good as me at the game to tell me how to do it. And I know that probably sounds rude and not arrogant, because that's just, I always think, learn from the very best, and that's the way I've always done it. Someone coming from where I came from, I mean, mum and stepdad and dad, they all had really good jobs, but we weren't rich. So all of a sudden I had to win money. My whole mindset changed, and all I was trying to do was win, and I think that's where my aggressive golf came from. It was through necessity, because if you got on a bad run, 6 missed cuts, all of a sudden you're back in trouble again. I was showing up to the big time, I had zero expectations. I just didn't see myself in the same league as those top American players, Nancy and Jane Geddes and Pat Bradley, Paddy Shea and Betsy King. They were all people I wanted to be like, but at that stage I was absolutely nowhere near their consistency. Even though I was playing well, I still didn't think I was as good as the girls I was going up against. I knew nothing of Plainfield, just knew it was in New Jersey. I was just playing golf. After 2 rounds, I would have still been thinking, I'm out of my league, it's a great start, I've made the cut, that's paid for the trip. And, you know, we'll just have a great fun weekend and see if we can finish in the top 10. I don't think I'd have even been nervous about being in the lead, because I wouldn't have thought I was ever going to win it for 1 second. So, again, it would have just been, I'm on holiday, I'm having fun, where are we going for dinner, Dad? And that would have been it. The 15th hole, par 3. Saturday afternoon, and another solid iron shot, and left myself a very good look at birdie. So very pleased with that shot. My brother, he never smiled at all. You saw his face there, very stony faced. Actually, I've just seen something I don't do anymore that I should do. The way I used to line up my feet and then look down the line, just saw myself do that. So you're always learning in this game. The thing about my putting is, in recent years, it's real pace putting. This is solid putts going in the middle of the hole, and I think that's youth, isn't it? That's where you're not scared of the 4-footer coming back. That's just the way the game was when you're playing really well at a young age. This hole probably put my name on the map, I think, as quite a powerful hitter, because there was a hill you had to get on top of, and I could get just on top of the hill, and that gave me just about enough where I could have a go at the green. Just carried the bunker. I've got an eagle putt and the other's coming in from 100 or so. That's the way I used to like to play. If I can just sharpen up the long game for Sunday, if I keep putting like this, maybe something good could happen. But I wouldn't have thought about winning that tournament until the last putt went in, I absolutely guarantee you. Once we got to the final round, I was thinking more about not letting her just walk away with it, or Joanne, or any other players that were up and around the lead. So I would have been intelligent enough to know that, you know, I was in a spot where I could actually do something. Simply thinking about how many birdies can I make. With a young career, that's all I ever focus on. Make more birdies than bogeys, and things are going to work out. Nice and firm for par. You have to hold par putts in major championships, especially US Opens, because you're going to miss fairways and greens. And in she goes, and I look embarrassed, because I always had a thing about the good putters. They used to irritate me because I thought it was all about ball striking. I soon learned that it was the whole game that won you championships.
She did it. She's got it. She's got the lead in the Women's Open. I imagine that roar was heard by young Miss Davies on the tee of the 17th.
I'm 100% aware of exactly what's happened. That would have spurred me on to try and hit my tee shot on 17 as absolutely as hard as I possibly could, so I could reach in 2 and make an easy birdie to get back with her. I was longer, I could reach that hole in 2, and I knew they couldn't. That was my small advantage against these top players. It was all or nothing on that tee shot. It was as much as I could possibly get on it to get it just to the top of that hill. It took a little bump, about a third the way there, and then just caught the edge. Disappointment at the time. You see it on my face.
So now, Joanne Carner. Get it caught in the grass. Slow down. Let her slow down.
That night we'd have enjoyed, I don't know where we went for dinner, probably Red Lobster. Red Lobster is my dad's favourite, and we probably went there and worked out that tied second was 20-something thousand, and that was an absolutely unbelievable week. And so the playoff was a bonus, and I do remember, I mean, later on in my career, I couldn't sleep at night when I had the lead or close to the lead, but I reckon I slept like a baby, because to me it was all a big bonus and a big holiday.
What we're seeing here is not only great play from two veterans, Ayoko Okamoto and Joanne Carner, two proven champions, but I think we're seeing the emergence of another champion, a young player, and there's nothing more exciting than that. Young Laura Davies, 23 years old, from Great Britain.
It 100% helped me, the fact who I was playing against, because I was the wild card in there, and everyone thought, oh, well, you know, she's had a great week, shoot your 78 today under pressure. But I never felt the pressure, and that's the weirdest thing, because all throughout my career since then, I really have felt the pressure, but I had zero expectations going into that week. So I was guaranteed tied for second, which for me was a win. And I just thought, just go and shoot the best score you can shoot. One of these will probably beat you, but you've had a cracking week.
Laura looked as though she might open a wide margin, but she came back to the two players by 3-putting the 7th hole.
I'm not sure I ever putted this well ever again. Maybe in Solheim Cups, because I used to putt really well in Solheim Cups. My brother's a really good putter, and he read the greens for me. And whatever line he gave me...
4 birdie and a 2. All right.
Right in the middle again. I mean, it's amazing to see these putts go in. Obviously, there were putts that didn't go in, but the ones we're looking at now, they're going in. Now it becomes real. At that point, it probably started dawning on me that I wasn't just making up the numbers, thinking, oh my goodness, I could actually win the US Open. I'd come up a bit short, and I never forget it. My brother, we're big football fans, soccer you guys call it over here, and there was a lady stood up behind, sort of on my line. If you see my eyes just near the end, I kind of look up. You can see a little squint out the corner of my eye, and that was to make sure I was on the left leg of the lady wearing the Brazil shirt. And then it was just a matter of trying to get the pace right.
But she just started out very well.
To this day, we want to thank the lady in the Brazil shirt, because I think that putt was the one that gave me the leverage to go on and actually win. I don't necessarily remember those feelings, but I guarantee I now started feeling nerves, and at that point it's mine to lose now, so it all becomes a little bit different. You sometimes come up a bit short under pressure, because I obviously was feeling it. Looking at some of these shots makes you wonder, maybe I was too young to have nerves, but a really good shot over the pin, and yeah, just making my life easy down the stretch against these two great players. 2 shots ahead with 2 holes to go. 17 again. Hit a really good drive, got it just short of the top of the hill. And I remember Joanne Carner, she just said it to me walking up to the green, because I think by that stage she was out of it. It was just me and Ayako, and I've whacked it up there. Walking, she said, why would you do that? You know, just you've got it in the bag. But that was my game, and although probably, no, I think I'd still do it today if I had a chance to win. I'd still go for the green in 2. And that's just, that's your game, that's all you've got, and you have to go with it.
Maybe just a little too hard.
So Ayako lets out, and then I hit what I thought was a really good putt, just a bit too much pace. But I left myself a cheeky one actually, I don't remember that.
There you go, par 5 to remain at 1 under and 2 strokes ahead of Okamoto.
That gave me the 2-shot lead going up the last. 18 was a hole that we decided wasn't driver because there was a fairway bunker down that left side that we probably could have reached with our driver. I don't think we'd have had discussions at that point. He probably couldn't talk, I probably couldn't talk, because now it was real and we just went into auto mode.
Very smart playing from this 23-year-old.
Because you're playing so well, you're not going to hit a bad shot at that stage. Once you get into the zone playing golf, we all know it. Doesn't matter what standard you are. Once you're playing well, you're not going to just turn up and hit one horrible shot at that point.
Got it right back up where she needs to be, up on the top.
Get it on the green, get the 2-putt, and get the job done. Although I had one in Europe, it's a whole different ballgame winning in America, and it's an even bigger ballgame winning a USGA event. So I'm not sure what I'd have been thinking here. I'd have probably been thinking about the prize money, knowing me. And then the birdie putt down the hill. That was a nice stroke, but had too much speed, and there she goes, which opened the door for Ayako. She now has a chance. If she makes hers, my 5-footer or 4-footer becomes a lot different. You can just see in my face there, I now realise that I might have to make that to win.
Maybe outside of the left of the hole, and oh my goodness. All right, Laura Davies can now 2-putt to win the championship. What you want to do is make it like a champion, like you really need it.
I listened to the commentary, Dave Marr, and I've often thought about that when I've had other putts to win tournaments.
There she is, ladies and gentlemen. The USGA Women's Open champion, and a little kiss from her brother there. They've worked hard all week. It's been a long week for that young lady. Congratulations.
I didn't understand what I was doing that day, and as it turns out, it's one of the hardest things to win in golf, a USGA championship. And maybe I took it for granted at the time, but luckily I wasn't scared of it. I just got on with the job and it worked out. And then it becomes an absolute whirlwind, because now I've got to make speeches. It was like a drinks thing for the champions. Plus we had to get back for the British Open on the leave that night. I was defending champion at the British Open down at St. Melian. So we had all sorts going on. And you don't really enjoy winning something like that until hours and hours afterwards. The 87 US Open made my career, really. You sit back 10, 15, 20 years later and realise that was the tournament that everyone really does want to win. I probably should have won it a couple of times. I was in position and I fell away. Maybe US Open setups aren't for an aggressive game. Maybe I got away with it in New Jersey, but they can never take 87 away.